again. It's Friday. It's Funky Fun Friday. You know, we're doing a craft today that kind of goes with the book we read, I'm the Biggest Thing in the Ocean. It's not going to be a squid craft because I wanted to choose the octopus. Because how many legs does an octopus have? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. An octopus has 8 legs. And I thought it would be fun to make 8 legs and then put dots for every number. So not only is it a craft, it's a math lesson. Fun with math, right? So an octopus lives in the ocean. And is the octopus the biggest thing in the ocean? No. Is a squid the biggest thing in the ocean? Nope. We learned that, and we should know that anyway because we know that the blue whale is the biggest thing in the ocean. It is the biggest animal on earth. It can be as big as a school bus. That's big. Okay, so let's make this craft. So I already made one of these crafts, and I chose purple for the head, pink for the tentacles, right? These are called the tentacles. What do you think an octopus does with its tentacles? Well, a fish has fins and an octopus has tentacles to help it move around. It really doesn't swim like a fish. It kind of moves around the bottom. And the tentacle has suction cups on it. That's what these numbers represent. And so it helps them eat. It helps them get their food and put it in their little mouth that's underneath, okay? And what do you think this green is down here? Kind of like seaweed, you know, seaweed or kelp that's at the bottom of the ocean. And then in the background, I colored blue for the water. Okay, so I'm going to go over with you some of the ways that I did this. Now, I took another white piece of paper and I wanted to make a pretty blue ocean. So instead, this one I used marker. I just scribbled around with marker like it's waves. But then I decided I'd take a crayon and peel it. You can peel a crayon. This is great for art, to color a large surface. You could peel the paper off the crayon, then you take your blank white paper, right, and you just take that and you start just rubbing it on. So you have to put it on the table and start rubbing it around, and look what happens. It makes a pretty blue ocean, okay? So I made an ocean like that, looks like waves, right? And then the instructions say to cut a circle out, but I made an oval. I made his head a little bit different. All I did was take a piece of paper and cut an oval out of it. But you can make a circle first. You can take something like the bottom of a big bowl and to make, if you want it perfect, and then you can cut the circle in half. And then I put on those 2 googly eyes. And what I want to add, and you know what? This is a fun octopus. It's not going to look exactly like an octopus, right? So I'm going to make a fun smile on him because I want a happy octopus. See, I made a fun smile. You can do that too. And so I can't find my glue. I went to school yesterday and I got some more glue and I can't find it. It's very hard to go back and forth between the classroom and home and classroom and home, so I don't have glue, but let's pretend we have glue, okay? So I took the octopus and I did not glue him on yet. If I glue him on now, I won't be able to put the tentacles on, so you have to do it in steps. So then I took my pink paper, and in order to make 8 tentacles, I folded my paper. I took the big paper, I folded in half once. See, I matched the corners. Not exactly. You don't have to be perfect. Fold it once, fold it again, and then fold it one more time. Okay? And then I opened it. So what I'm going to do now is on each side, I'm going to cut out tentacles. If you have those fun scissors that make zigzags, you can use that, but I have them, but they're downstairs. I'm not going back down. I liked the way I did it the other way. It's easier. So I opened it up again like that, and then what I'm going to do is squiggle, 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 squiggle. You can ask your grown-up for help. That's okay. But you know what? I would really like you to try it. So I cut a squiggle on one end, and then I'm going to cut a squiggle on the other end. 2 ends of squiggle. Because I want his tentacles to look a little bit like real tentacles. Now I have this. I have 2 squiggles. Now I'm going to hold my finger here, and I'm going to cut squiggles down. I'm not going to cut across that line exactly. I'm going to cut squiggly. Squiggly, squiggly, squiggly. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. 1 squiggly, and then I'm going to pull this back up again, put it back together, and squiggly. do your best. If you don't want it squiggly, you don't have to make it squiggly. It's your craft. It's yours. You make it your own, okay? So now I've got, let's count how many tentacles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? Now I'm going to take each tentacle and I'm going to put a dot on each one. You see how I did this? 1 on the first, 2 on the second, 3 on the third, 4 on the fourth, 5 on the fifth, 6 on the sixth, 7 on the seventh, 8 on the eighth tentacle. You could just take a marker, anything you want. If you have little dots that you want to put on, right? I left some room on the top. Why do you think I didn't put the dot all the way on the top? Look. Well, part of the tentacle has to go underneath the octopus. So I'm going to leave some space. If you want, you can put a pencil line there, or you can fold it to know where to start. See? So I'm going to start every one underneath. There goes my first. You see that? Now I'm going to go for my next one, and I'm going to fold that down so I know where to start. Then I'm going to make 2. But you know what? They don't have to be exactly spaced the same. So look, 1, 2. And I'm going to keep doing that until I get to what number? How many tentacles are on an octopus? 8. So I'm going to keep doing this until I get to 8, right? Then I'm going to lay out my octopus head, okay? I'm going to put him face down on the table. And I'm going to take my glue, if I had it, and make a whole strip of glue right there. If you don't have glue, what else can you use that's sticky if you don't have glue? How about tape? You could use tape, okay? So I laid him down, and I put glue across the bottom, and then I put them in order, but I had to be careful, because if I start with 1 on the left side, when I pick it up, when I pick it up, if I start with 1 on this side, on the right side, then it's not going to go in order. 1 has to start here on this side, right? So I have to make sure that I put, you know what? No, it goes the other way. That's why I got confused at school. Because look, it looks right when you look at it this way, right? But when I turn it around and look at it, it's not right, right? If I'm putting them in order, I'm looking at it this way, and it looks right to you where you see it. But when I want to look at it, I want it in order from 1 to 8. Okay, so I want to start with the 1 on the left side. Okay, so I want to put 1 here. So when I look at it or I hang it up, it's 1 to 8. So look, when I'm going to start with the 1. This is my left hand, and this is my right hand. I'm going to put the octopus head down, and I'm going to start the 1 on the right side, okay? So put him down and start gluing down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's what it's going to look like. So when you hang it up and you look at it, number 1 starts on the left, because we count from left to right. We do not count from right to left. Right to left is counting backwards, right? Let's count forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When we count backwards, it goes 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We want to make sure that we always start our counting on the left side. Okay, so that's how we're going to do it. So if you're putting him down on his face, right, you're going to start 1 on the right side, because when you turn it around, it's going to be the left side. It's confusing. I know, right and left is confusing, especially when I'm looking at you and you're looking at me and we're not on the same side. Okay, so now that and you know what? Guess what? If you do it the wrong way and you pick it up and you say, oh no, now I have 8 on the right side, on the left side. If you have 8 on the left side and 1 on the right, you can just peel it back off and fix it. It's okay if you do it wrong the first time. But what you want to do is that when you're looking at it, you want to be able to count 1 to 8 from left to right, okay? So let's make sure of that. So once I get my tentacles glued on the head, I'm going to go ahead and glue his head to my paper. I made him crooked. I did it on purpose because I thought, I don't know, when octopus are in the water, octopuses, they don't just stay in one place. I like that he was sideways. So before I put him on, though, I did cut the bottom. I cut some kelp or seaweed, whatever you want to call it. I made 2 rows of it. I just thought it looked nice with 2 rows. And you know what? You can do it however you want. You can draw it first and then cut it out. I just went and just made pieces, almost like grass, because seaweed is similar to grass. It's similar to plants, right? It is an underwater plant, seaweed. It's green. Interesting that it's green, though. Do you think it has chlorophyll in it? It's a little different. It probably still needs oxygen, right? Chlorophyll, the chloroplast cells are green and they need oxygen, right? See, I cut that out. So I guess the green grass, the green seaweed only grows where there's oxygen and sunlight. I don't know. I think that's something we have to investigate for next week, okay? You can investigate it. You can Google that with your grown-up. Find out why seaweed is green. And on Monday, we'll talk about it, okay? Why is seaweed green? Okay. So then I glued my seaweed to the bottom. And then I glued my octopus to the top. And now I have a cool craft that reminds me about what I know about the ocean. And it reminds me how to count from 1 to 8. And that counting goes from left to right. Okay? And I can count forwards and I can count backwards. Okay? Oh, that was my bird. He's not happy. Bilbo, be quiet, you. Okay. Have a really super fun Friday, and I'll see you on Monday.